Let's see if I can find a better way to do this. This just needs to be heavier, something heavier. Like this. Nice. Placing the MacBook frame today. Alright. Let's get it. Got my wow stick. You live in this. First thing I'm doing is I'm taking out the battery right now. You know, just to see what's going on. This customer originally, his board, he thought his board was messed up, so he cleaned it. It had a lot of hair on it. We ended up burning it through the ultrasonic cleaner, and it works, but not in this frame. So the palm rest and the keyboard are probably bad. So, and it's dirty, so we're replacing the palm rest and keyboard on that. So I've got the new palm rest right here, you know, and we're gonna be replacing it from this machine. So I've already got his DCN board out. I've got, you know, a little bit of thermal paste on here. I'm gonna get that off and I'm gonna put new thermal paste on it. And then what's left was the battery, and we have to get the screen out. So I already unscrewed the battery, so it should just pop out like that. Pretty nasty battery, but it still works, and he's looking to keep his costs down. And yeah, it looks like a lot of liquid damage inside of this. So what I like to do is take a look at both ends of the DCN connector. And oh man, his is nasty. So he needs a new DCN connector. He'll need a new one of these, which I have in the shop, so it doesn't matter too much, but it will be upcharged. So that is bad. This is bad, and I'll show you why. So if we look on the connector side, you see how there's a burnt pin right there, and it's water damaged. We want to make sure that, you know, we have a good part going into a good part, you know, and right here, you can see corrosion inside of the connector. So we really don't want any corrosion, especially when this is what goes from the DCN board right into the main motherboard. You know, you want to keep it all good. So this is trash. We do not want to use that. His DCN board we cleaned as well, and it looks pristine. These suck to replace because they cost a lot of money. They're like $80 now or something. $100. I think I saw a price one time. It's insane. All right, so now we're gonna remove his screen. The Wi-Fi antenna comes with the screen. It's basically like a two-part system over here. And there's just 3 screws that hold down the screen, really, on the hinge, and it also connects the Wi-Fi antennas, and the Wi-Fi antennas go on top of the hinge. These are the things they don't tell you in the YouTube videos, right? And we're gonna check the connector on the screen too. It looks good. No burnt pins on that, so all is well in the subsystem. What I like about these palm rests is they come with the speakers installed already, so I don't have to take out the speakers. Don't even have to worry about it, you know? Because worrying about speakers is just one more thing to worry about. So the easy way I like to get the screen off of the casing is, you see I have it on a foam rest so that I'm not damaging the screen. and you can just kind of lift this up, right? And lift it up a little bit more, and it'll just slide off, just like that. And we have our nasty old palm rest. As you can see, it's got liquid damage around the corners, it's got liquid damage on connectors, hair everywhere. So this needs to get out of here and replaced. So more trash, more trash. Alright, so his screen is still pretty dirty. So what we will do is we will isopropyl it after we put the new palm rest in. So I'm gonna take the new palm rest and just kind of fit it in like how the other one came out. And then I'm gonna hold it with my fingers. I'm gonna hold the brackets and just kind of carefully wiggle it all the way down. And once you get it to right here, you can put a screw in the middle of each one. Hopefully your screws are magnetized. Screwdrivers are magnetized, unlike mine. I need to magnetize it. Okay. Cool. Put a screw in the frame. And then, because we want to make sure we don't damage the screen. That's our main goal here. Don't damage the screen. And we can lay it down. Alright, now I'm going to unscrew this screw because the Wi-Fi antenna sits on top of that. So I'll make sure that it's in place. And I'm going to put it back. We're just gonna keep the big screws. I'm just going to, because that was the last thing we took out, so it should be the first thing we put back in. That's just how I look at it. You know, work in chronological order from start to begin. Some of these screws are a little don't want to go in correctly. There we go. And make sure you're using the right bit, always. This is a T8H over here. And having a T8, you can strip it. So make sure it's T8H, that's Apple standard. Except for when it doesn't want to fit on your screwdriver properly, because yeah, this little robot makes my life a lot easier. It's an employee of mine. I paid for it, so I should get back what I get in return. And it goes back and forward, which is nice. Alright, first thing I like to do is install the battery. Just get it in there. So I'm actually going to clean his battery off a little bit. How I'm gonna do that, take a piece of paper, towel, fold it, grab some isopropyl alcohol, and wipe it down. Alright, looks like it's about as good as it's gonna get. So yeah, you don't really want to soak batteries in isopropyl, just because that can kind of ruin the cells. And then make sure there's nothing crazy on the bottom so we don't damage it. Make sure we have the connectors sticking out at the top here. There's 2 of them. And then we'll get to work. Alright, so first things in order, we're going to put the DCM board in. And I like to do what's called a dry test. No screws, just the Just everything, well, just a few screws, but everything put in place exactly how it needs to go, and then turn it on so that I'm not stuck with a fully screwed in machine that I'm not sure of. So what I'm going to do first is screw the DCN board in with one screw. Oh, we need a different bit. This bit is P5, I believe. Let's see. It might be T5. Yep, T5. P5 is for the outside, actually, the casing. So I put it in with one screw. There we go. And then there's a few different connectors that we need to plug in. And we're gonna make sure the Wi-Fi antenna is in place as well. So I did something wrong here. I put that connector down first when this one needs to go in first. So if a connector isn't going in properly, it's probably because it's not in the proper alignment. And alignment is key, and having good tweezers is key. So come over, grab a pair of nice tweezers. You know, something that you can actually grab with. But you don't want to rip it. No ripping allowed. This is my favorite connector to put in. There we go. Beautiful. Pushed in. Make sure you don't see the white, and you're good. And then sound connector. Alright. And then we're going to fit the board in properly. Make sure that you don't set it down on any of these cables, right? The good thing is there's no connectors up top we have to worry about. And we just keep plugging and going, plugging in stuff and going. And I'm gonna move these out of the way to make room for the fan. Come on, fam. And there's enough thermal paste on here for me to at least check what's going on. So I'm gonna screw in that heating bracket just so it doesn't get too hot. I'm gonna clean it off later and definitely use new thermal paste. This is just what I call a dry test. Make sure the computer boots up. Make sure I get that question mark on the screen. And everything is way okay. I'm gonna put in one of these fan screws just to be a nice guy, you know. Whoopsie daisies. Oh, there we go. Let's do more fan screw. There we go. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna plug in this Wi-Fi card here. And then I'm gonna grab the good DCN board or connector because he had a bad one. And I'm going to replace that. See, this is what a good DCM board connector looks like. No corrosion on either side, no water damage. And this is his. Let's compare them. Beautiful, right? He needs this one. All right, and then we take the MacBook charger. Actually, we need to plug in the keyboard in the lid first. Why did I plug in the battery first? Oh no. So cool thing is, I can lift the battery up, right? I can honestly take it out. And then it's much easier to connect the keyboard. And I should probably put a screw in the battery as well. Whoops. Repairing things is all about learning as you go. to keep it simple. Learning as you go. You learn a lot as you go. And having good mentors too is crucial. Alright. Now, what's up, Caden?
Yeah, they just like wouldn't let me get it, bro.
That's okay. We'll talk about it later. I'm live on YouTube.
Ah, prank John.
Oh, shit. I'm doing a video right now. I just replaced this frame on this MacBook, and we're about to see if we get the question mark logo.
Oh yeah. I just saw smoke come out of that shit.
Did you?
Look. Ooh, that smells like shit. Did you not see the smoke? You can smell it.
I did. One of his battery cells, probably.
This shit.
That was weird.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. It
See,
only took me
these-
about an hour and a fucking half. Shit's ridiculous.
Fan is still spinning. That's a good sign. All I want to see is a question mark logo on the screen. That's all I want to see. Boom! We have done our job. So it did. We saw some smoke out of his battery. I'm gonna give him a call about the battery and the DCN board that needs to be replaced. So nice. Peace.